morning, I'm Paolo del Rosario. Welcome to Weather HQ. Today's headlines. Typhoon Marce continues to threaten the northern mainland Cagayan-Babuyan Islands area with signal number 4 up in these areas. Several places affected by Marce suspend work and classes today, including in Abra, Apayao, Baguio, Batanes, Benguet, Ilocos Sur, and La Union. A number of flights also canceled. The Department of Agriculture says adverse weather is among the main reasons for the decline in farm and fisheries production for the third quarter of this year. We'll speak with the spokesperson of the Department of Agriculture later on in the show on the government's assistance to this sector. And snow finally falls on Mount Fuji after the Japanese mountain's longest ever stint with bare slopes. The details on global weather. Typhoon Marce continues to move closely in northern Luzon. The center of the eye of Typhoon Marce was last located 200 kilometers east of Apari in Cagayan, maintaining its strength with maximum sustained winds of 155 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 190 kph. It is now moving slowly in a northwestward direction at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. Now, Marce is forecast to move west-northwestward for the next 12 hours over the waters east of Cagayan before turning generally westward this afternoon until Sunday. Now, it is expected to make landfall or pass over mainland Cagayan-Babuyan Islands, Apayao, and Ilocos Norte from this afternoon. If there will be no changes in its track and speed, Marce is expected to exit the Philippine area of responsibility tomorrow afternoon or evening. It will remain as a typhoon as it exits the PAR and will further weaken after its exit. Pag-asa already raised signal number 4 in the northern portion of mainland Cagayan, including the Babuyan Islands, the northeastern portion of Apayao, and residents under signal number 4 should watch out for the passage of the eye wall and the eye of the typhoon. When the eye of the typhoon hits the community there will be a sudden improvement of the weather, but please do not venture away from safe shelter because the worst weather will resume after 1 to 2 hours. Signal number 3 is raised in the southern portion of Batanes, the rest of Cagayan, the rest of Apayao, Ilocos Norte, and the northern portion of Abra. Residents in areas under signal number 3 will experience winds of up to 117 kph for at least 18 hours. Moderate to significant impacts from storm force winds are possible within any of the localities where wind signal number 3 is hoisted. Pag-asa has already raised signal number 2 in the rest of Batanes, northern and central portions of Isabela, the rest of Abra, Kalinga, Mountain Province, and the northern portion of Ifugao, northern portion of Benguet, Ilocos Sur, and the northern portion of La Union. Areas under wind signal number 2 will experience winds of up to 88 kph and may be expected in at least 24 hours. Minor to moderate impacts from gale force winds are possible within any of the localities where signal number 2 is hoisted. Signal number 1 is up in the rest of La Union, Pangasinan, the rest of Ifugao, rest of Benguet, the rest of Isabela, Quirino, Nueva Vizcaya, the northern and central portions of Aurora, the northern portion of Nueva Ecija, and the northern portion of Zambales. Those who are under signal number 1 will experience winds of 39 to 61 kph in at least 36 hours, and intermittent rains may be expected. Minimal to minor impacts from strong winds are possible within any of the areas under wind signal number 1. Based on our latest satellite image, the residents of Batanes, Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, Isabela, Apayao, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Abra, Ilocos Norte, and Ilocos Sur are currently experiencing stormy weather. Now, residents are advised to prepare for a possible flooding and landslides due to the at times intense and torrential rains. In the coming hours, heavy to intense rains with gusty winds are expected for the rest of Cagayan Valley and the rest of the Cordillera Administrative Region, the Ilocos Region, and Aurora. The winds may cause minor to moderate threat to lives and properties, so do watch out for that. The trough or the extension of the Typhoon Marce will bring cloudy skies and scattered rains and thunderstorms in Zambales, Tarlac, Nueva Ecija, Quezon, Camarines Sur, Camarines Norte, and Catanduanes. While in Metro Manila, right over here in the rest of the country, partly cloudy skies with chances of thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon, are expected. Tomorrow, let's take a look at the rainfall forecast. Intense to torrential rains are expected over in Ilocos Norte, while heavy to intense rains are expected in Ilocos Sur, Apayao, and the Babuyan Islands. Moderate to heavy rains are expected in mainland Cagayan, Batanes, Kalinga, La Union, Abra, and Mountain Province. The diameter of the typhoon is around 900 to 1,000 kilometers wide, and strong winds are concentrated near the center. Now, in terms of winds, the residents of the whole Ilocos region, Quezon, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, and Catanduanes will experience gusty winds from time to time. By tomorrow, the residents of Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Aurora, Zambales, Quezon, and Catanduanes are expected to experience strong gusts, especially in coastal and upland areas. On Friday, strong winds will be felt in Isabela and will continue over the Ilocos region, Aurora, and Zambales. Taking a look at the sea conditions now. As for sea conditions, gale warning is up in the seaboard of northern Luzon, particularly in Batanes, Isabela, Ilocos Norte, and Ilocos Sur, and Cagayan, as well as Babuyan Islands. The coastal waters of these areas will experience very rough to very high sea conditions and may have a maximum wave of around 11.5 meters high. Wave heights of up to 5 meters are possible in the western seaboard of northern Luzon and the western eastern seaboards of central Luzon. That's over here in Luzon, particularly in La Union, Pangasinan, and Zambales. Now, with these kinds of sea conditions, sea travel is seen as risky for vessels of any type or tonnage, and all mariners must remain in port. A storm surge warning has also been raised in the northern coast of Cagayan and Ilocos Norte. Storm surge of more than 3 meters are expected. Now, up to 3 meters of storm surge is possible in Batanes, eastern coast of Cagayan, Isabela, western coast of Ilocos Norte, and Ilocos Sur. Now, storm surge of up to 2 meters is also expected in the northern coast of La Union. All marine activities must be canceled, so please stay away from the shoreline as well. Evacuations advised for residents living in these coastal areas. Flooding is possible due to the storm surge. Now, to know more about what to expect from Typhoon Marce, we have with us on the phone, Pag-asa weather specialist, Veronica Torres. Magandang umaga, Veronica.
Good morning din po sa inyo, pati na rin po sa ating mga taga-subaybay.
We have already raised signal number 4 in different areas. Ano po yung advice ninyo for residents under signal number 4?
Po sa mga naka-signal number 4, so kagaya nga po ng inyong nabanggit kanina, significant to severe threat na ito to life and property. Kung kailangan ng lumikas, ay lumikas na po tayo. Kung pinapalikas na po tayo ng DRR officers, tayo ay lumikas na po. Lagi makipag-ugnayan sa LGU at lagi mag-update sa mga ilalabas na advisory ng Pag-asa.
Veronica, are we expecting more areas to be placed under signal number 4?
For today, we are not ruling out na madadagdagan yung mga areas na maapektuhan ng signal number 4 dahil posible nga itong kumilos papuntang Kanluran. So habang lumalapit sa ibang areas ng Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, posible din silang madagdag sa areas na lalagyan ng signal number 4.
Veronica, medyo wide ang Marce. Are we expecting other places away from northern Luzon to be affected by yung rainfall po?
Sa mga rainfall naman, more on mga nasa may extreme or sa mga northern Luzon, yung mga inaasahan natin na malalakas na pag-ulan hanggang around Mountain Province. Tapos, yung area naman na posibleng maapektuhan, yung mga trough, is more on sa mga central at southern Luzon area. Pero more on trough na po kasi ito.
Veronica, dumaan si Christine, si Leon, and now itong si Marce hitting northern Luzon in particular. Can we expect more tropical cyclones damaging that area in the rest of the months for 2024?
Opo, we're not ruling out na magkakaroon pa nga tayo ng mga ibang bagyo na posibleng dumaan din sa same area. Pero for this November 1 or 2, possible na mabuo or pumasok sa ating area of responsibility. So, hindi natin nirule out. Pwedeng dumaan kahit saan. Pwedeng mag-landfall or pwedeng mag-cross din ng northern Luzon. Pero habang hindi pa ito nabubuo, kailangan pa rin nating kailangan pa muna nito maging at least tropical depression para malaman natin yung track nito.
Maraming salamat. That was Veronica Torres from Pag-asa giving us an update about Typhoon Marce. Up next, we'll have the spokesperson of the Department of Agriculture on the third quarter losses in the farm and fishery sector. Stay tuned. You're watching Weather HQ. Watching Weather HQ, I'm Paolo del Rosario. Now, let's check on the situation in Cagayan, where signal number 4 is hoisted now. We have with us on the phone the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office Head, Rueli Rapsing. Magandang umaga po. Thank you very much for joining us.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo at lahat po ng inyong mga taga-subaybay po.
So, Rueli, unang-una, ano po yung weather conditions ngayon sa Cagayan?
Okay, the northern portion of Cagayan right now, nadagdagan po yung nakataasang signal number 4. Santa Ana, Gonzaga, Santa Teresita, Bugay, Apari, Ballesteros, Abulog, Pamplona, Sanchez Mira ang under signal number 4. The rest of the province, signal number 3. Sa signal number 4, ang nararanasan po ngayon ay gustiness na more than 120 km per hour na wind. Somehow sa pag-uulan po, mga pag-aambon-ambon lang, panaka-naka mga pag-aambon-ambon lang.
So, Rueli, so far, may number of evacuees na po ba kayo?
Yes, may initial reports na po yung evacuation efforts natin. There are municipalities that are still ongoing sa kanilang forced evacuations. Somehow, yung na-secure natin yung mga coastal municipalities where yung bagyong Marce magta-traverse sa Babuyan Channel. So, yung coastal barangays natin, yung mga inuna natin in-evacuate. So, out of 29 municipalities, 21 municipalities yung nagpadala sa atin ng report. Of the 21 municipalities, this is for 149 barangays evacuated. Umabot na tayo sa more than 17,000 individuals or 5,000 families.
So, Rueli, just want to wonder about the status ng relief efforts considering na dumaan nga po ang Christine, Leon at ngayon Marce. Kumusta po yung resources ninyo and of course yung mga efforts with regards to the current evacuation?
Yes. So far, after last Monday, after the pre-disaster risk assessment conducted by Office of Civil Defense, the entire region was under red alert status. And it's already a Charlie emergency response protocol, meaning to say all the mayors are advised to conduct forced evacuation. And we're thankful for the national government, for the uniformed personnel from the AFP, PNP, BFP, Coast Guard, and the Marines. They've been pre-deployed to all of the 29 municipalities in the province. And we've also directed our MDRMOs after the Monday's PIDRA to assess the stockpile and their evacuation sites and procedures. So far, all barangays, all local governments are not asking for any augmentation or replenishment of their stockpile. So therefore, their stockpile still suffice itong evacuations natin.
Maraming salamat, Sir Rueli Rapsing, the PDRRMO head for Cagayan. Maraming salamat po. Now, we were supposed to interview the agriculture spokesperson, Assistant Secretary Arnel de Mesa, on the third quarter losses on the fisheries and farm sector, but he is still in a meeting right now. We'll try and get him on the show later on. But for the meantime, coming up, Hurricane Rafael intensifies into Category 3 and it's expecting to bring life-threatening storm surges and flash flooding to portions of western Cuba. global weather, you're still watching Weather HQ. Hurricane Rafael began lashing Cuba's south shore as a Category 3 cyclone shortly after noon on Wednesday. Now, Hurricane Rafael is located about 135 kilometers south of Havana in Cuba with maximum sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour. Now, the National Hurricane Center says Rafael is expected to bring life-threatening storm surges, damaging hurricane-force winds and flash flooding to portions of western Cuba. Now, the farm provinces of Artemisa and Pinar del Rio were expected to take a near-direct hit as Rafael made landfall on the Caribbean island. Authorities said that they had grounded flights at both Havana's Jose Marti International Airport as well as the popular beach resort at Varadero through Thursday and had evacuated more than 100 Canadian tourists from Cayo Largo. Farmers fast-tracked the harvest of ripening fruits and vegetables across much of western Cuba and moved to protect 8,000 tons of tobacco in Pinar del Rio province. Now, snow finally falls on Mount Fuji after the Japanese mountain's longest ever stint with bare slopes. The active volcano's iconic snow cap usually starts forming on October 2 on average, and last year's snow was first detected by government meteorologists stationed in Kofu City on October 5. This year, the country experienced one of its hottest summers on record as extreme heat waves fueled by climate change engulfed many parts of the globe. That makes 2024 the latest arrival of snow since comparative data became available in 1894, beating the previous record of October 26, seen twice in 1955 and 2016. And that's Weather HQ for today. Join us again tomorrow, whatever the weather, here on BNC, the Billionaire News Channel. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Have a great morning.